think everybody's almost in here. Got them all in here?
Yeah.
I'm trying to make sure this YouTube is populated. Okay, hello everybody. Hello everybody. Thanks for joining us again tonight. So we are going to, I got a couple of questions. Well, not a couple, that's not true. I have a question I have to answer that two people asked me about. And it's CDL related, but it's not CDL related. I'll make sense of that in a second. And Miss Sharanda, do you have anything particular that you would like to talk about today?
No, just I guess just just focusing on people connecting with somebody who can help them definitely close their groups versus just going with uplines and people like that and then come to the field trainer at the end and feel some type of way.
So let me make sure I heard you right. So you're talking about an associate that doesn't use a field trainer, uses somebody else in their market or upline or whoever, just somebody to help them, and then it doesn't work out necessarily the way that they want, and then it comes to a field trainer afterwards to help finish up what got started. Is that what I heard you saying? Okay.
Yeah, and then feel obligated to the initial person, but that person ain't closed. So you need to make sure you're dealing with somebody who specializes in that so they can close the group for you.
Got you. And
I had a lot of that. I've had a lot of that in the last couple of weeks.
My topic was more or less related to emailing things out. So it's probably better to touch your topic first because it's more relative than mine is, I believe. So we'll do introductions, then we'll touch on that first. Plus, just a few things inside of that topic that probably needs to be touched on, just as far as etiquette and that kind of stuff. Because I know exactly what you mean. And I know that from the networking and the B2B side, both sides, you kind of have that issue. So it helps to hear that from, especially preventatively, hearing it before you end the situation, because it's almost like when you're in the situation, then it's awkward for you. When you hear about it beforehand, you learn not to even fall into that situation. So we'll cover that first, and then I'll mention, I have a couple of people that's asking me about the email, creating the templates so that when they're sending emails to prospects or responding to prospects via email, they have a template as opposed to typing the same email out. I went over that before, but of course, sometimes people, they don't get it the first time because I talk fast, and when something is normal for one person and they don't know it, they're not used to it, somebody else is not used to it, they have to digest it a little bit at a time. So I totally understand that. So again, guys, while we're going over what we're about to go over, please, if you have any questions so that we can direct the training towards what you all need to know as opposed to just generally coming up with topics that may be beneficial to you. It's better if we're answering or talking about things that you're dealing with right now today in the field, and more for me than Sharanda, I would say. And the reason why I say more for me than Sharanda is because, guys, I'm not in the field no more. So I'm not going to be able to come up with as many topics as a Sharanda will, because Sharanda is out there doing things in the field, so to speak. And me, I'm just more or less maintaining, and there's some days that I don't do legal show at all because I'm doing other things. So I'm not going to come up with as many topics for you all, but you guys are in the field. You're working day to day. You're calling on companies. You're doing certain things. So if you hit a hitch, like boom, just hey, look, this is the issue I'm having. Because somebody else could be having that issue. So you can either raise your hand at the appropriate time, or you can put your automatic hand up so that you move to the top so we see you, or you can just drop it in the chat, drop the question in the chat, and then we'll see it, and then we'll answer that question as we move throughout our conversation. And YouTube, same for you as well. Just drop it in the chat in YouTube, and then I will see the question and I will ask it, and then it'll get answered, and then we'll move forward from there. So Sharanda, if you can give us a quick introduction, I'll do the same, and then we'll start having a conversation.
All right, Sharanda Ivy, out of Byron, Georgia, about an hour south of Atlanta. Been with Legal Shield now this is our 10th year, with 50K ring earners, CDLP, certification trainers, field trainers, recognized for the company for 2 years for Field Trainer of the Year. Been recognized top group opener, all in this space. We've written over 1,000 personal apps, headed to 2,000 almost. And, like I say, just choosing my major and my minor here in this space. What I learned is that it was easier to share this information with the prospects that saw more value in this, because it definitely was a matter of them having a job and feeding their family. So anyway, became a student of this part of our business, and then the industry itself, and just focusing on continuing to help others and help them build their dreams, and definitely continue myself to serve into that capacity as well. So with that, I turn it over to you, Dunbar. I do host the accountability call on Thursday nights at 8:00 p.m. Eastern time. And so definitely want to try to jump on that if you are interested in getting started with some accountability.
All right, good stuff. So Robert Dunbar, been with Legal Shield 14 years, been a trainer for about 8 years with the company, training in different areas, and worked different areas of Legal Shield personally. Did the team building, the insurance program, the regular group side, the CDL group side. I don't know, whatever else they had going on. I probably got involved in that one area at one point or a time in my Legal Shield career. And really just love helping people get to the next level, whatever that is for you, whether it's a difference in manager to senior manager to director, or getting to a 50K ring, or just moving to shifting and saying, I want to work in this space, or I want to do CDLP versus regular group. It's all about what you would like to do. That's what I like to train on. But here, particularly in the CDLP space, we like to just make sure you have the things you need to operate in this space, because there's not a whole lot of training. There's not a whole lot of places you can go and get information on how to sell this product to this particular prospect, and on the sales side and on the membership side. So we like to make sure you have a place to come to on Monday, so that in between your daily prospecting and selling and group opening, you've got somewhere to come back and kind of download. Then again, Sharanda has a call on Thursdays, and then we have a Facebook page as well. And then monthly, there's a CDLP certification training. I know this month again, it's going to be free. Sharanda Ivy is going to be training with Alan Roman, doing another free CDLP training. So if you need to be refreshed, go ahead and jump on there. So let's get started on your topic, and then we'll touch the topic that I mentioned. And there's one other topic as well about truckdriver.com that I wanted to touch on too, that people are asking about, just individual questions that came to me, the email, the text, or something like that. So let's get on the field training deal and talk about how to appropriately process that, so that you don't feel a type of way about that. And I'm gonna chime in on that too as well when you talk about Sharanda. So I'm gonna turn it back over to Sharanda, and I'll jump in with her as she talks about this.
Okay, so corporate has a list for us for field trainers and solutions trainers and certification trainers. And all certification trainers are field trainers as well. But on that list, they specify who is, CDLP certified, meaning that, those people have had some success in, selling that product to that industry. A lot of people don't focus on that. A lot of trainers don't focus on that. because that's why we have a certification, because the language is different. And so therefore, when you are prospecting, and I know, some people just prospect across the board. They don't really care what industry it is. But when you come across a transportation company, because we know trainings that, because we have a great field trainer program, don't get me wrong. I really wish I would have had it when I was coming through, because I didn't. And I've been in the business 10 years. So that lets you know how new the program actually is. And they explain to you about the field trainer program. And that's why we have regional trainers over different states. Because when you go to trainings, you are assigned to a solutions trainer to help you when you take certain classes. You may get an email or telephone call, because what we want as a company as a whole is to help every individual succeed. But, you just have to ask people, though, if you're focusing on a transportation company or trucking company, or, drivers, however you want to prospect, what's their level of comfort in that space? Are they able to assist you with that? And you can ask them, like, what type of success have you had? And you make that choice whether or not you want to, work with them. Just because they're your solutions assigned trainer in that market doesn't necessarily mean you are stuck with them or you have to work with them. So you just know that, But also know that too, your upline isn't always a field trainer either, And so you ask them, because we have bonuses and things out there for individuals. Maybe it's your first group. And it might not be CDL, but it might be your first group. And if your upline is not a field trainer, a certified field trainer or appointed field trainer with the company, and they help you with that group, and you're looking to get a bonus, you're going to miss that. So you may have been banking for 500, and since they were not a certified field trainer with corporate, you're going to lose $250 because of that. So make sure you ask questions. Make sure you do your flyers. I mean, we have to take responsibility as independent associates, as business owners. This is a business, and you can't be directed as every step you make as, like a kid, I'll say. It's a business, and we have to treat it as such. So when incentives come out, make sure you print them out, and you know what you have to do to earn that incentive. And for those that don't have a group or never open a group, that $500 bonus is huge for an individual, plus the commissions that come with that. But then Solutions has other bonuses as well. Maybe you open your first group, but you haven't wrote new you haven't wrote new members this year. You could get a bonus for writing memberships this year. You can get some money for that. Or you can open multiple groups and get up to a $5,000 bonus. So, I mean, and I had to learn this over the years too. We can be running for everything, or we can be, oh, I'm just working my business, but we have to slow down to speed up to know what we're working towards and how to get to those bonuses, and how to set ourselves up for the next level and things like that. Because, this week it's just been, not this week, but last week it was just a couple of people just, they I won't say they lost, but it affected their business, their money, their income, because they partnered with somebody that, couldn't close the deal, but then they felt obligated because they had started to work with them, and they were really afraid to go back and say, we closed this, I don't feel comfortable or whatever, putting your name on this because you didn't close it. Or, it really was these upline deals. So just make sure you know, because maybe somebody on here banking for 500, maybe somebody on here, working their business to earn extra money through these bonuses. So, so help yourself by taking responsibility to know exactly what it takes to earn, your bonuses, your commissions to run your business. And so you won't lose out, but also you take control of your business to make those decisions as an independent associate.
Oh, good stuff. So let's you guys know, for me, it's almost like when we talk about us as people, as individuals, right? And I want you guys to look at this in the world of business, right? This is not Legal Shield. This is not man. This is not woman. This is not race. This is not religion. This is all, right? Like let's look at this like strictly like business owners, right? You're in network marketing. For me, if I could use for an example, a person can say that I'm a black male, but I'm a human first, right? I'm always human first, and then I'm a male, and I'm whatever culture I'm from, I'm whatever I am. If you guys are business owners, and I'm not saying everybody is, because you're on Legal Shield, don't make you a business owner, right? So you're not a business owner because you signed an application to become an independent associate of Legal Shield. So if you guys at least understand that part of it, just put it 2 in the chat, right? Being a business owner is not you signing a contract. Being a business owner is a state of mind, not a piece of paper that you sign, right? So put oh, hold on. I said we gotta put a 2 in the chat, and I don't even have my chat on. Lord have mercy. All right. So let's look at this from the point of view of, if a plumber came to your house and started a job and did not do the job correctly, and you called in another plumber, and the next plumber had to come in and do the job correctly, would you pay both plumbers? Put a yes if you would, put a no if you would. Plumber comes to your house, you ask him to do a job, you do a contract with that plumber, plumber doesn't do the job, you call in another plumber to get the job done. Second plumber does the job correctly, do you pay both plumbers, right? No. Okay. So, and that's because it's business, right? It's no offense to the other plumber, and you're not paying them, you're not paying the plumber because you're mad at them. You're not paying the first plumber because they didn't do what you asked them to do via contract, right? So you don't pay that person, but you pay the second one because they came in and did what you asked them to do. It's no different than with this, because I've run into that same situation. You're not obligated to leave somebody on an agreement with you to open up a group when you ask them to help you and they didn't do it correctly. If that person is not being a correct field trainer, or even if they're not a field trainer, they're just going on there to work the group with you so that they can get a split with you or whatever you've agreed to with that person, right? Whatever business agreement that you come up with that person, they're on that group with you. They're helping you open it up. They're not answering the phone. They're not really helpful. They're not doing the things that they should be doing to help you. Whatever makes you feel like it's not working out, and you have that conversation with them. And then you reach out to a field trainer. Doesn't matter where that field trainer, whether that field trainer is in the organization you're in, whether you go strictly to B2B and Legal Shield to get the field trainer, whether you get somebody in your area, doesn't matter where you find that field trainer at. You find a field trainer and you put them on a group, right? And you say, can you help me? I started working this with somebody else. I thought they knew what they was doing. And I found out they just weren't that clear either. They couldn't help me much. When you put that new person on your group, right, that is who you're obligated to do that split with. And you need to be able to have that business conversation with the person that you took off to let them know that you no longer work with them, guys. Because again, this is not Legal Shield, this is business. This happens in the real estate world, this happens in the insurance world. This is not a Legal Shield thing, this is a business thing. You're doing business. And if you agree to contract with somebody and it doesn't work out and y'all agree to go separate ways, well, when y'all decide that you're no longer going to work together, then the partnership is now dissolved, which means there's no payout at the end for the person that was helping you open a group if they didn't help you open a group, right? So put a 4 in the chat if that makes sense. This is not about being nasty or being upset. This is about setting boundaries. right? Setting boundaries before you do a deal, and you have to be able to be clear on that. Even if it's your upline, you saying, well, I don't want to mess up the relationship with the upline. You're not messing up anything. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. If that person takes that personal and decide that they don't want to be friends with you anymore, you don't have control over that. That is not you doing anything wrong. That is you doing what you should be doing. And how a person takes that and you do it, you can't control that. You can have that full conversation with them. You can say, hey, look, I don't want you to take this personal, but it doesn't seem like this is working out. I ended up locating a field trainer that's going to help me. So I'm going to have to remove you off of here and then work with the field trainer to do what I need to do. That is you doing business. That is not you causing a problem. Now, I know some of you all are non-conflictual because that's a personality, right? That's available for us to have. But when you're doing business, you gotta leave it all on the table. You gotta leave it all on the table. This is about you being able to build your business, and what you don't want to do is say, I'm so obligated to somebody in my marketplace. I'm so obligated to somebody in my upline that I am going to allow a person to help me open up this group that's not a field trainer and then miss half the bonus that I'm supposed to get. The reason why they have bonuses in place if you use field trainers is because Legal Shield is suggesting that you use a field trainer because they feel like the field trainer can help you more than somebody else could. So if the person in your upline says, well, I've opened up more groups than this field trainer, which could be the case. Well, guess what needs to happen? Your upline needs to put in an application to be a field trainer. So that when they help people open up groups, because they may well know how to do that, but if they're not a field trainer with Legal Shield, then you're not going to get that bonus. So essentially, you have not received the bonus because the person that knows how to open up that group to help you that's in your upline did not decide to do paperwork that made them a field trainer, and then you take a hit on income. Does that make sense? That's not good business. This is not about loyalty to an organization. This is not about this person in my marketplace helps people open a group. You get a business guys to do business. 2 reasons to get business. To help whoever the service is going to help, and to create an income for yourself. It's not to come into a business so you can be loyal to another person and then miss out on the income that's available to you as that business owner. Is that fair to say, guys? Right? Throw a 5 in the chat if that's fair. So I'm only saying these things to you so that we understand that, yes, you are in network marketing as an industry. You have chosen the company Legal Shield as your vehicle in the network marketing industry, and this is your side hustle or your full-time income creating opportunity, whatever that is, this is in your world. You are doing business, and as a business owner, you have to make business decisions based on business, not based on how somebody feels about the decision you make, whether you work with them or not work with them. So I think it's important, going back to the beginning of Sharena's conversation, to vet a 3-way call and a field trainer are 2 separate things. A 3-way call is about respecting the third party and calling them Mr. or Mrs. and creating this level of respect so that prospect respects them enough to close on a 3-way call, right? In a nutshell. With a field trainer, that's not the same relationship. With the field trainer, if I'm going to field train Wanda, although I am a person that's a field trainer and I probably know more about opening groups than Wanda does, which is why she's coming to me as a field trainer, that does not mean that Wanda is not supposed to ask me questions. That does not mean that Wanda is not supposed to interview me. I'm not going to interview a 3-way call expert on the networking side. But I am going to interview a person that's going to help me open up a group because you've opened up a group before does not mean that you know how to help me open up the group that I'm trying to open up. Does that make sense to everybody? So the group I'm opening up could be in a specific industry, it could be in a specific size, and you may not have experience with that. You may have opened up schools all your entire life and I'm trying to open up a clinic. You may have opened up clinics all your life and I'm trying to open up a school. You may open up small groups and I may be opening up big groups. Right? I may be looking at doing courts in counties and things like that. That's a completely different animal than opening up a regular business. There's a lot more red tape. So you have to find out what that field trainer knows about opening the kind of groups that you're looking at opening. If you do not do that, then you are not sure that you are getting the correct field trainer for you. And what happens is when you make a bad decision on a field trainer, then you tell yourself that the field training program doesn't work when you made a bad decision. And then that affects the entire, right, the whole company, because now you got people saying, oh, that field training thing don't work. These field trainers, they taking half my deal and all this other kind of stuff. Work that out with that field trainer, and whatever you and that field trainer agree with, that's what you go with. If y'all don't agree, then you find another field trainer. It's not the field training program, it's your relationship with that particular field trainer. So again, you are in network marketing, you are in Legal Shield, but you are a business owner. Everybody on here, you're a business owner, right? To the extent that I'm not going to say you're not one, right? Again, you're not one because you signed the agreement, but I don't know everybody on here. So I don't know whether, some of you guys may not be one, but I'm not going to call somebody out and say that you're not a business owner. So let's just assume you all are business owners. You are here to do business. And doing business means that if you're going to open up a group account that's going to be business on your books for X amount of years, right? To feed your family, so the work that you're doing creates that book of business that you can eat off of on a residual side, renewal side, whatever you want to call it, then you can't just choose a field trainer based on the area you live in. You can't just choose a field trainer based on they're in your upline. You can't choose a field trainer because they're black or white. You can't choose a field trainer because they're man or woman. You choose a field trainer based on the job that they're going to do in a relationship that y'all can create to move forward and opening up these groups. So I hope on the business side, like that's fair to say, and people really do understand that, like, we've got to get out of the mindset of, because we get really comfortable in this company and we feel like the friendships are more important than the fact that we're here to do business. Yes, friendships are important. But if I come to a place to do business, then that's what's most important, because I'm coming here to do business. It's just like your 9 to 5. You go to your job to work. You don't go to your job to create friendships. So if you have to make a decision on which one is more important, I'm sure you're going to make a determination that doing whatever you need to do to keep your job, as long as it's not doing anything offensive to anybody, you're going to choose that first because you're at your job to work. This is a business. Relationships can be built here, right? I've got some of my best friends. Sharanda is one of my best friends. I met her in Legal Shield. So this is not about saying that you can't build great friendships. All I'm saying is everybody in Legal Shield is not going to be your friend. And because somebody else signed an agreement somewhere halfway across the world, across this country, don't make them a good person because they're in Legal Shield and you're in Legal Shield. So understand, when you go into these business relationships, go into them with expectations that are business related. And if it works out, you work with that person. If it doesn't, then you just separate yourself from that relationship and you find somebody else in the company that can help you accomplish that goal, and then make sure that they're compensated for doing it by doing that split with them or whatever percentage y'all agree to do together. It's just business. And I think it's important to understand that when you're going to do business, because those things will mess things up somewhere down the line. It's people that just have issues within their upline, within their marketplace, all of those things, because they don't agree with certain things that happen. And they think that there's some loyalty that needs to be lended to, this is my organization, this is my marketplace. We are in business together. And I totally get the whole team thing. I'm on a very strong team. I'm in Team New Vision. My immediate upline is Mike Humes, and over him is Donnell Self. So I'm part of the real strong team. I get it. But at the end of the day, when I joined Legal Shield, I didn't know them. I did not know them. I found them when I got in here that was my upline. And they're very good upline, and they're very supportive and great. Both of them are great men, great families. But I still came here to do business. And when I decided to go on B2B, I knew Mike Hughes and Donnell Self were not efficient in that area. So I went to Alistair Edwards, and he's not in my upline. He was just somebody that was successful in Atlanta, and I went to him and he helped me. Plain and simple. So I had to make a business decision to use somebody else to help me that wasn't part of my upline. And when I was doing my splits with Alistair Edwards, Mike Humes and Donnell Self, Donnell Self was getting a part of it because he's over Alistair Edwards somewhere in that stratosphere, but Mike Humes is not. And he wasn't concerned about the fact that I was using somebody that wasn't creating a dollar for him. So again, you're here to do business, guys. So keep that in mind. And I understand your empathy about people's feelings, but you're doing business. You can't be concerned about how somebody feels when you haven't done anything to offend them. Me not allowing you to be my field trainer when you're not doing a good job is a fair thing to do. Whether it hurts your feelings or not, it's a fair thing to do. You got to work with people that's going to help you get your goals accomplished as you move forward, man. So hopefully that's helpful to everybody. Didn't want that to turn into a lecture, but I think sometimes we really need, for people to get it and understand it, that don't fall so deep into the family funding culture of Legal Shield that you forget you're here to do business. We got a great field training system, like Sharanda said, but every field trainer not a good field trainer. That's the bottom line. And it doesn't matter where you go in anything you do, right? There's always going to be a couple of bad apples in there, or some people who want to help, but they can't do it that way. So just keep your options open and say, know that relationship might not work out and you may need to find somebody else. So anybody got any questions about that before we move forward to the next topic? Going once? Going twice? Sharanda, anything else on it?
No, that's just tips to help some, help people. So on to the next.
All right, so a couple people asked about the templates, and this is not going to be this is going to be pretty quick because it's kind of simple to do it. And I'm going to share my screen and do it. But some of you all that are using, this is for people who are using Gmail. I don't know how to do this on Outlook. So if you're using Outlook, you may have to pull it up, maybe a YouTube video or something like that. I'm not sure. But I use Google, I use Gmail on this particular thing. I mean, for the sake of this conversation, I use Gmail. I actually use something else, but I'm going to show you guys this on Gmail so that you guys know how to do it. So if any of you are sending the same emails over and over again because you're prospecting, you're sending out this prospecting email or this particular message after you make a phone call to a person, maybe you have an email that you push out to people after you send a phone call. Anybody sending any repetitious emails out, you can do it by doing it as a template in Google and Gmail, and it just kind of helps your productivity, getting it done a little bit faster, because I know sending emails can be mundane sometimes. So I will show you guys how to do that there. So that way, if you're using that as a system, obviously if you're using, HubSpot or some other CRM, you probably have a way to do it there, but there are many people that still send emails from their regular email account. I even do sometimes. I've got 2 other systems, but I still use Gmail sometimes just to mix it up, because sometimes changing up how the email comes will get it opened up. It's just having a different way of sending things in a different manner. So I am going to share my screen real quick here. And first, let me go to the settings so that you see where the turn is on at. So right here, this cog over here on the right-hand side, hopefully y'all can see my little cursor moving. If I click on that, it's going to open up, and then you're just going to go to see all settings. See all settings, click on that. And once you get inside see all settings, I want to show you where to go to turn on your templates to begin with. I think I am, as soon as my computer catch up. So let's give my computer a second here, because it seems to be taking its time. Maybe if I close some of these windows. We're going to refresh and try that again and see what happens this time. All right, so once you get inside your settings back here, if you go all the way down to where it says advanced, all the way down to where it says advanced and click on advanced. You're gonna see auto advanced and you're gonna see templates. So I want you to make sure that you have templates enabled. Because if it's on default, it's probably on disable. So make sure it's on enable. After you do that, just go down here and click Save Changes. I'm not going to click it because I haven't done anything, so it's not going to allow me to. But if you're changing yours to enable, click Save Changes, and it should take you back to your inbox. And once it gets back to your inbox, I want you to just act like you're composing an email. And I'm just going to put together, I'm not really going to put together an email for the sake of time, but I'm going to put response to your CDL questions. And this is free. You don't have to add an app. You don't have to have a special Google anything to do this. This is not about a paid account. I have a paid account with Google, but I can't do this because I have a paid account. You can do this with the free account. So there's no financial obligation attached to this, right? So now I just put Miranda, thanks for your inquiry, blah, blah, blah. I'm not gonna type a full email out. So I typed this response to Sharanda for whatever reason, whatever questions she asked, but it might be a relative question that I get all the time. Or this could be an email that I normally would send out right after I make a phone call to a company and I get someone on the line and say, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and shoot this email with this information that you requested. And I know most of you are doing that at least. You have an email that you send out to people, right? So remember, one of the key things is if you're using a signature in email in Gmail. So you see how my signature popped up when I went to compose the email? If you have a signature that pops up, you want to take this out before you save it as a template. And the reason why you want to do that is because whenever you go to set it up as a template, it's going to have a double signature. It's going to have the signature that you save plus the signature that automatically populates. So you want to make sure that you remove that. So I'm going to remove my signature like that. So this is the email that I want to send out to a person. Now I've got the email created. I'm just going to go down here to these three dots. And I'm going to click those three dots. And I'm going to go to templates right here. And then I'm going to move over here where it says save draft as template. And then now you see on the left-hand side, it's opening up another window, right? Now I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to save it as a new template. And now it's going to ask me, what do I want to call it? And I'm just going to leave it as this, just for this example. Response to your CDL questions. I'm going to save that as a template. And that's it, right? I saved it as a template. Now it's there. Now that I've saved it as a template without a signature, if I'm going to send this out, I'm going to go ahead and add the signature now because it's already saved without the signature, so I don't have to worry about the signature being added to the saved template. So now I'm just going to go down here to my signature, click Insert Signature, right? And I'm going to use my PPLSI signature. Drop it there, and now I'm going to go ahead and click Send. Now, let me show you guys something else real quickly before I send it. Also, here on Gmail, you can send emails when you want. So if you click this arrow and drop down, I can schedule to send that email at a particular time. So it's giving me tomorrow morning at 8, tomorrow afternoon at 1, or Monday morning at 8. If none of those times will work for me, I'm just going to pick a date and time myself. And I can say, I want this email to go out to Sharanda, right? And I'm always wary of the time zone as well. So if I'm sending this to, matter of fact, let me use George, because I know George is on the West Coast. I think George is on the West Coast. If you're not on the West Coast, then you are for this scenario. So George is on the West Coast, and I don't want it to go to him. I want it to come to him at 7 in the morning or 8 in the morning, right? So let's just say I wanted to get to him at 8 a.m. tomorrow. I'm gonna choose the 18th to the 18th, but I'm gonna have it go out at 11 a.m. because that'll be 8 o'clock his time. Right? So April 18th at 11 a.m. and now I just hit schedule send. That's done. And if I sit here and I schedule 10 emails to go out at different times to different people, right? Even groups of people. If I ever want to make sure I know what emails I have going out, all I have to do is go over here on my left-hand side and click scheduled. See where it says scheduled over here, guys? And I got that, it's the one, because it's the one I just scheduled. If you had scheduled 10, it would have a 10 next to it. When I click schedule, it'll actually open up and it'll show me what emails I have scheduled. So this is scheduled to go to Sharanda well, I know what time it is. If I go over here, it'll tell me somewhere, it'll highlight somewhere. Can't find it right now, but somewhere it'll tell you what time it's going out without actually clicking on it. You don't actually have to open up the email to see that. I just don't remember where it's at. So that's how you find it. Now, let me go back and use the templated email now so you see how to do that. So now, if I go to compose the email, just generally speaking, I'm going to send the email to another prospect, but it's the same email that I wanted to send that I just sent to Sharanda, I set up to send to Sharanda, right? So I'm going to go here and I'm going to say, I'm sending the email to George Jenkins, right? And my subject, and then let me just do this before I do that. I'm sending it to George Jenkins. Now I want to put the templated email in here that I created so that I don't have to type that email all over again, right? So I'm gonna go down here to those same 3 dots that I was at before. Click on those 3 dots. I'm gonna go to templates. And now you see these templates right here. All I need to do is click whatever template that I want to send. So if I use the same one that I just wrote, click respond to your CDL questions. I click that and it drops it right in here. So it drops the name of the person that I sent it to last. All I need to do is change that name to the person it's going to. It puts the same subject line in here. It's ready to go. My signature is already here. Now, in this case, again, I'm going to use my PPLSI signature, not my training company signature. So I'm just going to go down here to insert signature and just change it to my PPLSI. And it'll just change it over for me. So now I got this signature and I can go ahead and send this email out. I can either schedule it to send it out or I can just generally send it this way. So just wanted you guys to see that again so that y'all would know exactly how to set up those templates in your email if you need to. That way it'll give you a little bit more productivity during the time that you send the emails if you have templated emails as opposed to having to type that email out every time. So hopefully that's helpful, and hopefully the 2 people that asked me that over the last 7 days are actually here tonight. Because I could have just did this for nothing because I didn't look. All right, so let me stop sharing my screen. Let's see. All right, so if anybody has any questions, let me know. Let me read this question by Trent. Let me see.
Thank you for that. I always wondered what templates were.
You got it. Trent, that's funny. I love it. Good stuff, man. I appreciate that, brother. Absolutely. Absolutely. Vanessa Harris, what's up?
Hey, Mr. Dunbar. Hello, everyone. Hey, real quick, I had a question. What step did you go to when you went to advanced settings? What do we need to do there?
You need to turn on the templates because the templates in Gmail aren't automatically on.
You said turn what now?
You got to turn the templates on like that.
Oh, turn it on. Okay.
Yeah, you got to turn it on because it's not on by default with Gmail. So
okay,
you
gotcha.
click on the settings, Kyle. When you click on that little widget in the upper right hand corner, for settings. Click on that. Below that is going to be something that says see all settings. And when you click on see all settings, it's going to give you like a dashboard, and it's going to have several subtitles across the top. Go to the one that says advanced.
Got it.
And then you're going to see a few different options there.
Oh, got it. Okay,
yeah.
sorry,
So you see
thanks.
templates right there. Yeah, just click enable.
Okay,
Again, make
perfect.
sure you save it at the bottom. If you don't save it, it's not gonna stay.
Okay, great,
Yeah,
thanks.
and
Sorry, I
then
missed that step.
now you turn it on. Yeah, once you turn it on, now when you click on those three dots, template will show up.
Okay, great.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Anybody else got any questions? Going once, going twice.
Somebody asked, is there a max?
Is there a max? You know what, Luis? I don't know. I have probably, I don't know, I probably got 6 or 7 in mind right now. I've never tried to push it and see, so I don't know whether there's a max or not. I don't. But that may be something that you can just Google though. Like you may just be able to Google, is there a maximum amount of templates you can save in Gmail? And there's probably going to be a quick answer for that. Yep, absolutely. But I do have a few in there myself, and I think I probably got 6 or 7 different signatures in my Google signature as well, because I have signatures for all my different brands. What's up when I'm sending the email from a particular brand to have a different signature, because it's normally tied to a landing page and a logo and all the other stuff. So I have different ones, and they haven't stopped me from creating different signatures either. So far it's been able to keep up with itself. Anybody else with anything? Going once? Going twice? I don't think we ever finished at 9:30, like ever. In like 5 years ever. So which is a good thing, like I got somebody I'll take care of. But I didn't do that on purpose. Y'all know I certainly put y'all first. I won't be shutting down on y'all early for that reason. So don't forget, this month, I think it's the 29th, right? It's the training on the 29th, right? April 29th, Sharanda Ivy, Alan Roman, free CDL training. Thursday night, Sharanda has her accountability group there. And, every Monday we'll be back here, and the CDL Facebook page, don't forget to plug in there. But guys, just if you don't take nothing else from today's call, like just keep yourself in that business mentality, right? And I don't mean shrewd, and I'm not saying you got to be a shark and don't care about people's feelings. What I'm saying is when you get in that ring, right, it's like a boxing match, right? It's a lot of real nice boxers out here that look mean in the ring, because when they get in the ring, to fight for that belt, right? And after they win or lose, they'll hug the other opponent. So it's not about being a nasty person because you're throwing punches. It's about when you get in that ring, you got to get in that ring to fight. You guys are getting y'all got legal shield to do business. Go in here and do business, and don't spare people's feelings that are going to be upset no matter what you do. There's some people no matter what decision you make. There's some people in this world that if you don't make a decision to make them money, they're going to be upset with you. So you guys got in this business, make some money, and you can apologize, on the way up that ladder, but make sure you're doing what's best for your business. So we look forward to seeing you guys again next week. Thank y'all for chiming in once again. Thank you for all the thank yous in the chat, and we look forward to working with you guys again next week. Yeah, we got everything answered, it looks like. No more questions. Yep, we good. We good. All right, guys. Signing off. See y'all next week.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.